What's going on, everyone? I'm Richard. This is RichardOnData. I just hit 5,000 subscribers, and I have each and every one of you all to thank for that. So keep watching this video, and I'm going to talk about why I started this channel in the first place, and then where it's going in the year 2021. So I started this channel in November of last year, meaning I've been doing this for just over a year at this point. Now that I've hit 5,000 subscribers, to tell you the truth, I couldn't think of anything too special for this occasion, but I do think that it presents a good opportunity both for the new people and for the people who've been around for a longer time. I'm going to talk about what motivated me to start a YouTube channel in the first place, and then I have big plans for the year 2021, so I do want to talk about those as well. Before I do any of that, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, hit the notification bell so that YouTube notifies you whenever I upload a video, and then lastly, if you guys would be willing to support me over on Patreon, I'll have a link to that in the description of the video. It's massively appreciated. Alright, so why did I start the channel? Well, prior to starting it, I had the desire to embark on some kind of entrepreneurial endeavor for quite some time. There's a couple reasons for that. First and foremost is I think us humans do have it embedded in our DNA to want to create things. It's way too easy to get sucked into the monotony of day after day, consuming social media, consuming one episode after another of Netflix, and I really do think these sorts of behaviors are causing my generation, the millennials, to be a little bit more depressed and anxious than previous generations were. If we haven't put our mark on the universe in some capacity, there's just this sort of void inside of us. It's a fact that many of us use YouTube every single day to learn how to do new things, and if nobody out there took the time to actually create that content, we would all be a lot worse off for that. So that's the first thing. The second reason is YouTube is basically the definition of a passive income model. So I gotta be honest with all of you guys, I really don't like working in a 9-to-5 job. Yes, you get paid for the 40 hours of time that you put in, and particularly in the data science field, that pay tends to be extremely generous, but what you give up for that is your time, is of insane magnitude. I think there's a lot of people who get the idea of job security into their heads, but as I think a lot of people figured out this year during the pandemic, that is a complete and utter myth. You'll always be able to build an income so long as you have skills that are desired in the broader marketplace, but there are absolutely no guarantees in the world with your job. Something happens to it, you get fired, you want to move, who the hell cares? Your job is not going to last forever. To be fair, that's true of YouTube and the income streams that it brings me as well. But here's the key difference. It's scalable. For a while, I've made it my goal to produce one programming or stats tutorial per week, as well as one other type of video. I haven't always lived up to that, but that's at least been my objective. Here's the thing, 6 months ago, almost from today actually, I hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Now all of a sudden, I'm reaching 5 times as many people as I used to, roughly. But to be honest, I don't really actually have to do that much more work than when I was only reaching 1,000 subscribers. And that to me is an absolutely beautiful thing. The key here is scale. Yeah, I guess theoretically I could work 2 40-hour-per-week jobs, then I'm doubling the impact that I have on the world, and roughly I'm doubling the amount of money that I have coming in, but who in their right mind wants to do that? I work to live, I do not live to work. But what I do here can be built upon. Theoretically, at some point in the future, I could have 500,000 subscribers on this channel, so I'm reaching 100 times as many people as I am today, and I have roughly around 100 times the amount of income coming in. All that with not that much extra work. And let's just say that if I 100x'd the current amount of income that I have coming in from YouTube, the current 9-to-5 job that I work would be optional at best. So yeah, the passive income model associated with YouTube is a wonderful thing, and that's absolutely key. Then you might think, okay, I'm a data scientist, but why make a YouTube channel all about that? Well, I'm going to approach that question both from a personal perspective and a market-based perspective. And I'm going to tie the latter back to this broader conversation about income. First of all, back when I was in graduate school, I used to run lab sessions for a really large intro stats class. So I would do a lecture for about 20 minutes, then we would work on stats problems together, come back at the end and go over the answers, that kind of thing. And I absolutely loved it. I loved getting the opportunity to inspire people, maybe even to major in the field. And of about 30 plus instructors who were involved in this program, I would consistently get either the highest or close to the highest student reviews of all of them. So to me, it was a really amazing thing. And obviously it kind of got me thinking. Now, I have no interest whatsoever in becoming either a professor or like a high school teacher. And also, I found that when I was teaching the same class over and over again, that the magic of it kind of started to wear off. But I do love education, there's no question about that. It's just not something that I currently do, or frankly want to do, within the confines of a 9-to-5 job. So again, this is why I love the YouTube model so much. It allows me to create content on whatever it is that I want, and continue to progressively reach a larger and larger audience. Certainly a lot larger than I can reach from within a classroom. I think the first question that anybody has to ask if they're thinking about making a YouTube channel, however, is do you actually have something to say? That is, there's tons of different channels out there on this platform. Now, are you actually putting something out there that's different from what's already there? And my answer to that was and remains a resounding yes. For example, I think there's a disproportionate amount of content out there that's all about focusing on ML. Now I say it again and again in my videos, I love ML and I do videos on it, but it's only a small piece of the overall puzzle that is data science. I think what a lot of people learning data science really want is some kind of structure to the madness. I make jokes about it all the time, but there's way too much out there that a lot of people feel expected to know. And I do completely reject outright the notion that every single job out there is different. No, there are some universal principles that we can think about that are going to apply to the vast majority of people. More on that later. But then I think there's way too many people out there who are proclaiming to be gurus, and to be quite honest, there's almost no such thing as a true data science guru because the field is just too new and it evolves too quickly. From day one when I launched this channel, I would try to be completely straightforward with what I am. That's somebody with 5, that's now 6 years of experience doing data science who happens to know some things. And when you work on actual jobs, that's the type of person that you're probably going to learn the most from. For the most part, it's not going to be from some professorial or some self-proclaimed guru type. But I try to be as straightforward as possible and to conduct this channel with integrity. And associated with that is the fact that I never have any plans on this channel to create any sort of course. There's so much information out there on the web on data science that most people are not going to have to spend a penny in order to learn the particular topic that they want to learn. Granted, there is value in courses in terms of how they organize and structure different content, but honestly, that is so close to what I already want to do with this channel, which is to provide some sort of structure to people, that I really, at least at this time, see absolutely no purpose in starting up a course on this channel. And honestly, I would feel like a total sleazeball for doing it. To be totally fair, of course, I wouldn't be doing this channel just as charity work if it wasn't bringing me in some kind of revenue. And yes, I do collect revenue from this channel through a combination of ads, patrons, and Amazon affiliate links. And yeah, I know there's a lot of you out there who don't like seeing the ads, but the way I see that, that's a pretty acceptable trade-off for having freely available information that I'm not asking you to pay for. So that's a perfect segue into what's the plan for this channel in 2021? Well, to put it simply, I do love the idea of this channel being a one-stop shop for you to learn data science. I've put together a study pathway for prospective data scientists where I stress that, first and foremost, you should learn statistics. I make the case that every data professional out there pretty much should learn SQL, and then data scientists should pick one of R or Python and then master it. Well, over the course of 2021, I'm going to build out a SQL tutorial series. I'm going to finish my series on statistics and R tutorials, and I'm going to continue to bring you my perspectives on the latest and greatest news and trends that are happening in the data science world. Something that I will say is that I've received an increased number of requests to not forget about data and business analysts, to broaden my focus beyond just data science. So to you guys out there, I'm going to try to start making some content directed towards you as well. Now, one thing that I do with this channel on occasion as well is to talk about real life topics like the election, the virus, and the stock market, and try to bring some degree of data-driven perspective to those things. And I do that because on one hand, those topics are extremely fun to talk about, but I do also think it's incredibly educational to learn how to think of these things in the same way that you would a real-world data problem. Again, there's way too many videos out there about how to create some magical algorithm that's not actually magical to predict something. Meanwhile, there's not enough videos out there about the underlying data, how to question that, the assumptions behind whatever it is you're doing. And at the end of the day, in virtually all real-world business data problems, those sorts of things are where the majority of your impact is going to come from. So to be honest, I don't have plans to change around all that much with this channel, except that I'm going to try to be as consistent as possible. I'm going to complete out tutorial series on SQL, R, and Julia, as well as continue to talk about general data-related topics and the data science industry. And hopefully, when it's all said and done, this can be one central location where you can go and learn all the different facets of data science. With that said, I do make a concerted effort to read the comments on my videos, and some of the best video ideas that I've ever had come from you guys. So by all means, whenever you guys have ideas of things you'd like me to cover, let me know, and I will try to serve you guys as best as I possibly can. The final thing I'll say in this video is thank you to all 5,000 plus of you who've subscribed, and those of you who tune in. You've made this all both possible and worthwhile, and frankly, I'm just getting started. The goal is 50,000 by the end of next year. Thanks again, and here's to 2021 and the new chapters that it's going to bring in all of our lives and in our data science journeys. So until next time, Richard on Data.